Hello everyone to another Catan video. So I am in the fourth position and looks like a difficult board. Because not a lot of sheep on this board. Also, I think all the decent ore spots will be picked up by the time it is my turn. Let's see. At this point, I think purple can go for something like 6-5-12 to secure a good ore and wheat spot, or maybe something like 8-10-4, securing the best sheep on board. 6-5-11 is also an option, but yeah, 6-5-11, 10-4-5, 9-5-10 all seem to be decent options at this point. 9-5-10 on the top is also an option. So purple is taking their time considering, I think, all these options. Red goes for 6-3-4. I would have preferred 6-4-11 because that gives a little production of sheep, especially on a board which has so little sheep. It will be difficult for red to secure a decent sheep spot now. Green over here can go for something like 6-5-11, which seems to be a decent pick. Okay, so at wow, and he points downward, so most probably going towards the 9-12, and purple and green will be racing for that 9-12 spot. For my turn, I think I might have to play with a little less ore as compared to red and green, but something like 8-4-10 and 9-10-5 is very strong. I get all 5 resources, and I can also go towards the brick port later on in the game, and also have the option of 3:1 port and the wood port as well. Sheep port might be open for me, but then I don't produce a lot of sheep, but that is still an option. So based on that logic, I think going for 8-4-10 and 9-5-10 is the best case scenario. And I think in this case, my strategy would be to get at least 1 or 2 cities and go for the longest road. So green might go for 8-3-10 over here, uh, securing a road spot and probably a spot towards the 9-12. And purple can go for 5-11-4 here, getting a very decent Orvit sheep game. Wow, so green is basically competing with both red and purple for towards the port. Wow, that's a very unexpected choice by purple, going directly for the 3:1 port on 6-3. But now they do not have any ore, um, and that does leave quite a lot of board open for red. That said, I still don't know what red might go for. Red can go for something like 8-3 to secure some brick and a little sheep. Okay, red goes for a strong ore wheat sheep. I mean, strong ore wheat setup, which is completely understandable. So, yeah, not something that I am interested in at this point. Green does have the wood that purple wants, but if green and purple trade, green will basically be giving up the 9-12 spot to purple. I do have access to all four ports that I mentioned in the very beginning, and I think even 9311 is a decent spot for me, helping me get to my longest road. Yeah, Purple keeps offering the same trade over and over again, but I don't think that trade is going to go through. I roll a 7, and for me, blocking the 5 wheat is a easy option, and I will be stealing from red because red has the strongest overwheat sheep in this at this point. Let me go for something like this. I am not sure if I will get the trade, but worth the try. How about the other way around? Yeah, don't think those trades are going through. At this point, I will be building towards the brick port, especially because that is the resource I produce the most of, and end my turn there. I would have liked to get ore from red, but unluckily I was just able to pull a wheat. Red gets the wheat back, which is fine for now. My 10 brick gets blocked, but that's okay-ish, I would say. I wouldn't mind rolling a 7 at this point. I roll a 9, giving me another wood. At this point, I think building on the 3:1 port is just as fine as building on the brick port. I would want to build on the brick port first. So that's what I will do, and building towards the 3:1 port is also fine. So 6 is a pretty scary roll, especially because red and green both get an ore. I would say red, although has a very strong ore and wheat game, but apart from that, I will ask for an ore for sure in return. Not a trade that I'm gonna do for cheap. So green accepts that trade. I'm fine with it. So now green is able to cut off both red and purple. 5 gives me a little bit of wheat, which is okay, but I think 5 gives wheat to everyone. So again, couple of bricks blocked. I would have had a settlement in hand at this point, but the block is not a good thing for me. I would love to roll a 7 at this point. Another 5, so quite a lot of wheat in the game at this point. I would go for this trade. That would basically give me a city on 8-4-10. Yeah, but don't think green would accept that, or maybe they might counter offer for something else. Yeah, they don't accept it. Um, yeah, at this point, I think I will go for this trade, giving me a city that I want. So yeah, green just does a 4:1. I do get a 4, so let me see if I can get a 1:1 now. If I do get a 1:1, I will get my city. And that will be a very strong city, I would say, especially if it because it's on the brick port. I don't have the. Let me go for this trade. I don't have the brick that green is looking for. So how about this trade? Might be a little expensive, but the fact that I get my city is something which will be good for me. So green doesn't want to accept any of these trades. Not sure about red. Uh, yeah, red is still looking for a brick. I don't have any. So in that case, I'll just get a single dev card. I do get a knight, so I can unblock myself now, which is good. Let's see what red does this turn. Yeah, I think red is in a very difficult position because they don't have any sheep and they are not close to any ports or a decent source to produce sheep as well. I think a 4 would be a very good role for me. Although it's a very strong role for red as well, but I will be moving my knight and stealing from red, so that would be okay. So green rolls a 7. I think should be blocking the 4 ore, yeah, and stealing. So it steals from me, which is a little unfortunate, but at this point I might just offer brick for 2 ore. Again, focusing on the city that I want. Not going to go for any other trade. I don't need the wood, and I can just block the 5 wheat. And I think stealing from green is just fine. I do get a wood, which is not what I was looking for. Let me see if purple is willing to give me a sheep. They just get 2 sheep right now. I get the sheep, which is very good for me. And I will get my settlement on the 3:1 port. So 11 is a very good rule for red, giving them 2 extra ore. I don't think we should be having cheap trades with red because red can easily build, easily have a good game if they are able to get dev cards, which is a very difficult task for them at this point. For me, 10 is the best roll at this point in time, especially because that gives me 2 bricks and 2 sheep. I wouldn't mind rolling a 7 on my turn. But if I do roll a 7, it's difficult for me to block anyone. I mean, I think red will be able to get uh, 4:1 and build a road this turn. I do roll a 4, but I don't think I can do much with it, so I'll just end my turn. A 7 would be nice. Does roll the 7. So red loses 4 cards. I think the 10 brick gets blocked, and red should be stealing from green. Okay, red does target me, which is a little unfortunate. Um, Not completely unreasonable. I do think I'm in a decent position, but I think green is a little scarier. Yeah, especially because now green has a city on 6-5-12. They will be able to get a city on 8-3-10 as well very quickly. As expected, red does get a 4:1 and build a road towards the 9-11. I think red could also try building towards the 4-11, giving them a little bit of sheep. They don't need the wood. Wow, so red keeps on getting these easy trades for sheep. I don't think that's a good move by purple. Sheep is a resource that red doesn't produce, but getting these easy trades will make their game very easy. Yeah, purple gets the wood port, which is okay. I am not something that's not something which is the most important thing for me. So purple doesn't go for the wood port. Okay, so yeah, the so we know a 5 rolled and a 6 rolled. So there are green has like 2 ores and 2 wheat in hand, and now they are offering a sheep. So they have 2 ore, 2 wheat, and a sheep. Wow. So these easy trades are just bad for me. There's nothing that I can do and to stop them, and that is helping everyone but me. Unluckily, I am not even able to roll a 7, so I cannot unblock myself. Red shouldn't be blocking me or shouldn't be stealing from me, yeah. So they do target purple, which is completely fine. I think purple, if they have the knight, they can just play it and block the 6 ore. Purple doesn't block the 6 ore, so not sure what purple has in hand. If it's a victory point, they are pretty scary. That's not a not a good trade, I would say. Yeah, because fours haven't rolled quite a bit, and don't think purple had over in hand to give away, especially. I would love to roll a 7. I think that is the best roll I can get at this point. Anything other than 7 just helps everyone a lot more than me. I roll a 6 and I don't get anything out of it, so I'll just end my turn with the cards I have in hand. So red will be able to get their settlement with a 4:1. Yeah, the red does get a settlement. Purple rolls a 11, so that gives 3 ores to red. And I'm surprised purple did not play the knight. Yeah, steals from red, which is completely understood. Yeah, so red does get the wood port. I mean, sorry, purple does get the wood port. 4 gives me the rare ore that I'm looking for, so that's good for me. I wouldn't mind offering a wheat at this point. So I would get my city this turn, unless I roll a 7. So if I do roll a 7, that would be a little unfortunate, but that's how it is. I roll a 9, giving me extra wood, but at this point, I'll just build my city and end my turn. Not much to think about there. 7 is good. I think my 8 brick gets blocked, and red should be stealing from purple. Yeah, makes complete sense here. And red does get their third city, so red is in a very commanding position, I would say. But so is purple. And the 10 is a very good roll for me. So I do have like a road settle in hand. If I do roll another 10 and a 9, I will be building on the 6-2 spot. Wow, those trade. I don't know why the top two players are trading with each other, and that two these trades are like so cheap. So I think like purple will have the lead in getting the largest army now, and there won't be anyone who will be able to stop them. And don't think I can do much about it. Fine, I can go for that trade, giving me a dev card, a road settlement, and a dev card. I don't. I need another wheat for it, but let's see what I can roll. Okay, green does get both their settlements this turn. 9 rolls. Let me see if I can get another wheat. Yeah, I think more than building a road and settlement, I should be getting dev cards just so that I can target purple. And the fact that I am able to get a road building is very good. In this way, I can probably even try getting the longest road, try stealing it away from purple. So for that reason, I will build 2 roads this turn, and I can play my road building towards the 6-2 and then build another road if possible and get the longest road. So although I was not able to pull a knight, I think getting a road building wasn't a bad card at this point. I hope a couple of 10 roll, 5 rolls. I think purple will be able to get another dev card. I will not do an cheap trade. So let me ask for something like this. And a brick is fine also. So that trade does go through. So if purple doesn't build a road, I will be getting the longest road on my turn. So yeah, on my turn I'll be able to get the longest road and and a city. So that's a good role for me. Luckily, a 7 isn't rolled. Let's see if I can get any trade. If this trade goes on, that will be pretty good as well. I I hope green accepts it. Let me put that in the chat. Might not be completely true, but then if that trade goes through, that will be good for me. Yeah, green accepts it. That's nice. And now I can get my settlement and end my turn here. So that way, purple is blocked by getting the longest road. And now I am in a commanding lead. Still targeting purple, which is good for me, I would say. I can sneakily get a settlement and a city, or maybe just get two cities. Or maybe get victory points. So quite a few options that I have. Yeah, purple does get the largest army. I think they would be blocking me. They should be blocking me. I think the 10 brick is a decent option to block me on. 9 wood and stealing from red. They are taking their time to think about their option. Yeah, they do steal from red. Another 7 is rolled, so I think at this point they will be blocking the 10 brick and stealing from me. I wouldn't want my 10 brick to be blocked. So luckily, I am not targeted, which is a good thing. If 10s do roll, I'll be very, very happy. I'll be able to get a city and probably a dev card. Unfortunately, there haven't been a lot of 10s this game. And as I say it, 10 does roll. Another 10 would be excellent for me. Yeah, surely going for that trade. That gives me a city and a dev card. Uh, 12 rolls giving 3 wheat to brown, sorry, to green. At this point, I don't think any trade makes much sense for me. Apart from, I'm thinking if I can get like if I can get a settlement and a city, but don't think that is possible. I'll go for a single dev card. Hopefully, it's a victory point. It's a knight, and now I think getting the city would be fine. So a settlement or a city will give me the victory. Stealing from me is makes sense. A 10 rolls, that's an excellent roll for me, giving me 3 bricks and 3 sheeps. So these 10s have started rolling at exactly the right moment, I would say. I think my 10 brick gets blocked by purple. I wouldn't mind if they steal my sheep. They steal my ore, which is not the best thing, I would say. Especially because if a 4 had rolled, I would have been able to get a city. But now my only option would be to get a settlement on the 5-2 spot. I'm pretty sure you guys can feel the excitement in my voice. Should I go for this trade? I'm not sure about it. Let me accept it. Yeah, maybe that was a mistake because purple accepted it so quickly. Probably, okay, they are getting the longest road now. So yeah, maybe that trade was a mistake. Yeah, and it was really a very bad mistake. I lost because of my trade. That's really unfortunate. Purple getting 2 victory points. Oh no, purple did get 1 victory point. And yeah, that was a foolish error by me, handing over the win to purple. And yeah, that was a dumb trade. Completely agree over there. Shouldn't have accepted it at all, and just could have waited on my turn. So a big mistake by me. Let's see where I am on the elo board. I do lose a little bit of elo there. I'm in 1027 now, and that loss is completely on me. But anyways, hopefully I am more careful in the future. Bye for now, and see you again in the next video.